What if the greatest threat to a man after 65 isn't heart disease, or cancer, or even memory loss, but something far more silent, something invisible that quietly steals his fire, his purpose, even his connection to those he loves? Something that happens so slowly, he doesn't even realize he's fading until it feels like it's almost too late. I've seen it countless times. Men who seem perfectly healthy one year, full of jokes and energy, and the next, they're different, quiet, withdrawn, like a light has gone out inside them. It's not a sudden collapse. It's a quiet retreat, a feeling that the world is moving on and you're being left behind, or worse, becoming a burden. But what if this fading isn't just old age? What if it's the result of silent battles lost against invisible enemies? And what if you could fight back? My name is Dr. James. For over 30 years, I've specialized in men's health and the unique challenges faced by older adults. I've sat with thousands of seniors, men and women in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. I've listened not just to their physical symptoms, but to the quiet fears, the unspoken losses, and the longing for dignity and vitality. I've learned that true health after 60 isn't just about blood pressure or cholesterol. It's about purpose. It's about connection. It's about confidence. It's about feeling like you are still you. And often the things that steal that feeling are the things we never talk about. There's a silent epidemic happening among men as they move past 65. It's not a virus you can catch or a diagnosis you get from a lab test. It's a slow erosion of the very core of who they are. Society whispers that aging means slowing down, retiring from life, becoming less relevant. And slowly, quietly, many men start to believe it. They stop pursuing passions. They stop connecting with others as deeply. They stop feeling confident in their own bodies. They might still be physically present, but emotionally and spiritually, they begin to withdraw. This isn't laziness. It's not a lack of effort. It's often a deep, quiet struggle against forces they don't even recognize. Forces that chip away at their strength, their resilience, and their fundamental sense of self-worth. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They are silent killers of vitality, happiness, and yes, the very essence of what it means to feel like a man who is still fully alive. And unless we understand what they are, they can steal the richness of your golden years. I remember a patient I'll call Arthur, a proud, strong man. Built his own house, raised 3 successful kids, always the first one to help a neighbor. He came to me just after his 70th birthday, heartbroken. His wife had passed a year earlier, and retirement wasn't what he expected. His kids were busy with their own lives. Arthur used to be vibrant. He had a workshop where he built furniture. He met his buddies for coffee every morning. He and his wife had their routines, their quiet intimacy. But after she was gone and the structure of work vanished, everything felt empty. The workshop became dusty. The coffee turned into sitting alone with the newspaper. He stopped going for walks because, as he put it, who's there to walk with? He felt a profound sense of loneliness, a feeling of being unnecessary, like a sturdy old tree, suddenly standing alone in an empty field. His physical health started to decline rapidly, not from one major illness, but from a general creeping weakness. His energy evaporated. His mind felt less sharp. He felt a deep shame about losing his strength, about not being the rock he used to be. Even the thought of dating or seeking companionship felt overwhelming. "Who would want an old, tired man like me?" he confided, his voice barely a whisper. Arthur wasn't just aging. He was being silently attacked by forces that were stealing his life force, piece by piece. His story, and the stories of so many men like him, taught me that there are specific, hidden things that wage war on masculinity in later life. And recognizing them is the first step to fighting back. The good news is, you don't have to accept this fading as your destiny. You don't have to watch that internal light dim. Arthur's story didn't end there. He learned to identify these silent killers, and slowly, deliberately, he started fighting back. It wasn't a miracle cure, but a conscious, step-by-step reclamation of himself. The key isn't reversing time. It's understanding the unique challenges of this stage of life and actively choosing to counter them. It's about recognizing these silent killers for what they are and developing a strategy, a mindset, a way of being that protects your vitality, your purpose, your connections, and your confidence. I'm going to reveal 5 of these most dangerous, often overlooked silent killers of masculinity after 65. And more importantly, I'm going to show you simple, powerful ways to fight back against each one. Ways that helped Arthur and can help you reclaim the richness and strength that is still yours. Let's shine a light on these silent threats and understand how they operate. Silent killer number 1. The loss of purpose. For decades, your identity, your structure, your daily rhythm was likely tied to work, to providing, to building, to raising a family. There was a clear mission. But after 65, especially after retirement, that mission can suddenly vanish. You might feel like you've been sidelined, put out to pasture. The phone calls about advice become less frequent. The physical demands lessen. And without a compelling reason to get out of bed, to strive, to contribute, a man can feel adrift. Why it kills. A lack of purpose isn't just a feeling. It has real physical consequences. When you feel unneeded or have no clear goals, stress hormones like cortisol can remain elevated. Chronic stress weakens the immune system, increases inflammation, contributes to weight gain, and makes you less likely to engage in healthy behaviors like exercise or social interaction. It can lead to depression, apathy, and a rapid decline in both physical and mental health. Without a why, the how of staying healthy loses its urgency. How to fight back. You need a new purpose. This doesn't have to be grand. It could be volunteering, mentoring, mastering a new skill, dedicating time to a specific hobby, taking care of a pet, or even focusing on being the best grandparent or friend you can be. The key is to find something that gives you a reason to engage, to learn, to contribute. Start small. What did you always wish you had time for? What problems in your community could you help solve? What knowledge can you share? Reclaiming purpose injects energy back into your life, giving you a reason to stay vibrant. As the body changes, stiffness, less stamina, slower recovery, it's easy to fall into a trap of resignation. Well, I'm just getting old, you might think, and use it as an excuse to stop moving, to stop challenging your body. You start avoiding stairs, saying no to activities you once loved, believing your best physical days are permanently behind you. You lose faith in your body's ability to perform, even simple tasks, and that lack of confidence becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Why it kills. Accepting physical decline without resistance accelerates it dramatically. Muscles atrophy faster with disuse. Circulation worsens, impacting everything from heart health to brain function to sexual vitality. Bones weaken, metabolism slows. Chronic conditions are exacerbated by inactivity. The body needs signals that it's still needed, still capable. When you stop giving it those signals, it starts shutting down systems it deems unnecessary. This isn't just about looking strong. It's about maintaining the physical foundation for independence, energy, and quality of life. How to fight back. Gentle, consistent movement is your weapon. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights unless you enjoy it and can do it safely. Start with a short daily walk. Incorporate simple stretching or balance exercises. Find activities you enjoy: gardening, swimming, dancing, pickleball. The goal isn't to be 25 again. It's to maintain strength, flexibility, and stamina for your age. Celebrate small victories, walking a little further, bending a little easier. Reclaiming physical confidence means trusting your body again and giving it the regular attention it deserves to stay capable. Silent killer number 3, the retreat from connection. As friends move away or pass on, or as families grow more scattered, men can sometimes become islands. They stop making the effort to call, to visit, to join groups. They retreat into their homes, feeling like they don't fit in anymore or that they are a burden. Loneliness isn't just an emotion for older men. It's a physical threat. The quiet of an empty house can become a deafening silence that isolates them from the life-giving energy of human connection. Why it kills. Study after study confirms that social isolation is as detrimental to health as smoking or obesity. Loneliness is linked to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, a weakened immune system, and faster cognitive decline. It deprives the brain of stimulating interaction and the emotional regulation that comes from sharing feelings and experiences. It steals joy, reduces motivation, and makes it harder to cope with stress. Feeling disconnected cuts off a vital source of human resilience. How to fight back. Actively seek out connection. It requires effort, especially if you're naturally reserved. Call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Join a club or group based on your interests: book club, hiking group, woodworking group, community service. Attend events at a senior center or community center. Make a regular date to see family members. Don't wait for others to reach out. Take the initiative. Even short, meaningful interactions, chatting with the librarian, the coffee shop barista, a neighbor, can help. Prioritizing social connection nourishes your brain, your heart, and your spirit. Silent killer number 4, the silence around intimacy. This is one of the hardest to talk about. As bodies change, as sexual function shifts, many men feel a profound sense of shame or embarrassment. They stop talking about it, even with a partner. They avoid touch, intimacy, even the thought of pleasure, because they believe they are broken or that these things no longer matter at their age. The conversation goes quiet, and the space where physical and emotional closeness once thrived becomes empty. This silence kills confidence, connection, and a vital part of self-expression. Silent killer number 4, the silence around intimacy. This is one of the hardest to talk about. As bodies change, as sexual function shifts, many men feel a profound sense of shame or embarrassment. They stop talking about it, even with a partner. They avoid touch, intimacy, even the thought of pleasure, because they believe they are broken or that these things no longer matter at their age. The conversation goes quiet, and the space where physical and emotional closeness once thrived becomes empty. This silence kills confidence, connection, and a vital part of self-expression. Why it kills. Avoiding intimacy and touch, whether with a partner or through self-exploration, impacts hormonal balance, blood flow, and emotional well-being. The body needs regular signals of vitality. Suppressing sexual health can contribute to reduced circulation in the pelvic region, impacting urinary health and sensitivity. Emotionally, this silence fuels shame, anxiety, and distance in relationships. It reinforces the false belief that aging means becoming undesirable or irrelevant. Maintaining some form of physical intimacy and touch helps regulate hormones, reduce stress, releasing oxytocin and endorphins, improve sleep, and reinforce a sense of self-worth. How to fight back? Break the silence. Talk to your partner honestly about what you're feeling and what you miss. Educate yourself about how sexual health changes with age. It doesn't disappear, it evolves. Don't measure intimacy by youthful performance. Redefine it through touch, closeness, affection, and pleasure that feels right for you now. If you're single, don't neglect self-connection. Gentle, mindful self-touch, masturbation, is a natural, healthy way to maintain circulation, hormonal balance, and emotional grounding. Seek a doctor's advice for physical concerns without shame. There are often simple, effective solutions. Reclaiming intimacy, in whatever form feels comfortable, is an act of self-acceptance and courage. Silent killer number 5. The dimming of curiosity. As we age, it's easy to become set in our ways, to stop seeking new experiences or learning new things. We might think we know enough, or that learning is just for the young. We stop asking questions, stop exploring new ideas, stop challenging our brains. The world continues to change, but we stop actively engaging with its novelty and complexity. Why it kills? The brain is like a muscle. It needs to be used to stay strong. When you stop learning, stop engaging with new information, and stop challenging your cognitive abilities, the connections in your brain can weaken. This reduces neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new pathways, which is crucial for memory, problem-solving, and maintaining mental sharpness. Mental stagnation increases the risk of cognitive decline and makes you feel less alert, less adaptable, and less engaged with life. How to fight back? Become a lifelong learner. It's never too late to learn a new language, an instrument, a skill, or just read about topics that fascinate you. Take an online course, attend lectures, engage in mentally stimulating activities like puzzles, strategy games, or debates. Stay curious about the world, about people, about how things work. Challenging your brain keeps it resilient, adaptable, and vibrant. It adds layers of interest to your life and helps you feel more capable and connected to the evolving world around you. You've just learned about 5 powerful forces that can quietly diminish a man after 65. The loss of purpose, the erosion of physical confidence, the retreat from connection, the silence around intimacy, and the dimming of curiosity. Now take a moment. Breathe. Which of these silent killers felt most familiar? Which one resonated deepest with you? You don't have to fight all 5 at once. The path back to vitality begins with one small, conscious step. Choose one of the 5 killers that spoke to you today. And sometime tomorrow, commit to taking just one tiny action to fight back against it. Maybe it's researching a local volunteer opportunity for 15 minutes. Maybe it's taking a slightly longer walk than usual, just around the block. Maybe it's sending a text message to a friend you haven't spoken to in a month. Maybe it's reading just one article about aging sexual health. Or maybe it's simply spending 10 minutes thinking about something you've always wanted to learn. Just one small step. No pressure. Just an act of choosing yourself, choosing vitality, choosing to fight back against the silence. Aging is not a surrender. It's an evolution. Yes, your body changes. Yes, life brings losses. But you are not finished. You are not irrelevant. You are not invisible. You carry decades of wisdom, resilience, and character within you. The world needs your experience, your perspective, your strength in its evolved form. Fighting these silent killers isn't about clinging to youth. It's about honoring the man you are now. It's about protecting your dignity, your joy, and your ability to connect deeply with yourself and the people you love. You have the power to reclaim your purpose, your physical confidence, your connections, your intimacy, and your curiosity. It begins with awareness, and it continues with conscious choice, one small step at a time. Don't let the silence win. Don't let these invisible threats steal the best years of your life. You deserve to live fully, authentically, and vibrantly, no matter your age. Your story is still being written. Choose today to fill its pages with courage, connection, and life. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you found this message helpful and important, please leave a comment with the number 1. If you feel there's something we can improve, or if this didn't resonate, feel free to comment with the number 0. Your feedback means a lot to us and helps us create content that truly serves you. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe to our channel. Tap the bell icon so you never miss powerful health insights designed just for your golden years. Thank you for watching. Here's to living life on your own terms, fighting back against the silence, and reclaiming the vitality that is still yours.